Yusuf Estes, and I'm looking for something. Actually, I'm looking for someone. Is that someone you? I want Dawah partners, and you can be my Dawah partner right now. It's real easy. Just go to dawahpartners.com, sign up, and join me. There are 3 things that I would like for you to be able to do. Any one of them or all of them. Beautiful. Number 1, you will make dua. So you can be our Dawah partner, even if you don't go to the website, but I hope you do. Number 2, share. Share this message and let other people know about becoming Dawah partners. And number 3, help us financially. Donate on a monthly basis, even if it's small. Allah loves the thing that you do regularly, even if it's small, more than the thing that you do that's really big, but you only do it once. Join me as a Dawah partner. Do it now. Click, 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 click.
TV, first Islam channel in U.S.
Thanks to all of you for watching, sharing, and spending your time with us on Guide Us TV. And remember, tell everyone, stay guided. with Guide Us TV.
A way of life, a way of life, a way of life, a way of life. Islam is a way of life, a complete way.
And we're coming to you almost live from our studios right here in Southern California, and we've got a special program for you tonight. Every night's a special night, and I always have special guests. Let me introduce ladies first. Sister Kim, Assalamu alaikum rahmatullahi barakatuh. How you doing tonight, sister?
Wa alaikum assalam. I'm feeling very special tonight. Thank you very much.
Well, I think we should also introduce our other very special guest. Let's bring him out right now. Here is Richard. Assalamu alaikum, Richard. How's everything?
Wa alaikum salam. Wa alaikum salam. I give you greetings from Samuel and for Isa. We were with the last night at the masjid here in Canton, and shared a program together, and they're on their way to Toronto now. So they talked about some wonderful days they had in California with you and your family.
Oh yeah, they're great guys. We had a wonderful time while we were here, and they really added a lot to my knowledge and my appreciation, really, for the many of the things that we take for granted every day. Yeah.
Absolutely.
And we spoke this morning. We had 2 big events that we did, and one of them was that we went live for about an hour in Indonesia. Guide Us TV was in Indonesia, and we did a program for them. They had said this is the 3rd time we've done it, and we did 2 other like trial runs, and then today was a big deal. And it still had some hiccups with the technical side, but I'm sure they'll get it worked out. Anyway, then after that, it wasn't very long, I got a phone call exactly from Isa and Samuel, but Isa did all the talking, and he always does. And then we had our program with, and then he called me back and put us right through to Jerusalem. We were speaking to our brothers in Palestine. We were talking to the folks that have the big Dawah Center there in Aqsa, and it's right on. I saw. Oh my God! The Dawah Center is right there on the same area where Aqsa is. and it was great. And they got a building that is very close to that. It's on the what is the avenue that the Pilgrims for Christianity like to walk on? It's called
Via Dolorosa.
Via Dolorosa. Yes, that's the one. That
Yeah.
is exactly, and they've got their setup on that. And then he started showing me the stuff that they're doing in Washington D.C. And we
Yes.
had talked about it, but I had not seen the stats, the figures, and all. And then they made the offer for Guidus TV to come relocate back in D.C. You know, we were there for maybe almost 12 or 15 years or something like that.
Wow.
Yeah. So,
Wow. Yeah, they're up there. They got a building that they're looking at up on Capitol Hill, just a short stone's throw from the seat of power, so they say.
oh
So,
yeah. Well,
So that's amazing.
yeah, I'm really excited about all of this. This is going to be if we're able to do that, it's going to be great.
Mhm.
Let's see.
Samuel is the most tender-hearted man I think I've ever met.
Yeah, he is. He really
His
is.
emotions are moved so
Yeah.
much with gratitude to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala for all that's he's brought into his life. So yeah, indeed, good people. And Taj was with him.
Video issues, just so that you're aware, we're running at a really low frame rate.
We are?
Yeah.
I don't know what to do about that. I think that's up to you to handle that. If you want to give him a call and talk to him, and that's
I'll give him a text.
yeah, because we're you know what, I'm already doing all too many things, and that's why we see blank screens and things that are happening. But I don't even have access to the technical side of it. So anyway. We talked about that. Now let's go on, and we'll hopefully I'll be able to. Let's see. Yeah. This is not as hard as I usually have to do with the that thing at night. Let me see what I can put up here. We have a very special challenge for tomorrow. And we want everybody to know about it tonight. So I'm asking everybody to share this particular video. If you're watching this on a social media platform, yeah. All right. Now let me see how I can get to that to work on it. Yeah. Here we go. Yeah, you can see us right here on, this is a strange thing for me to see us right here on the air, on the, talk about it. This is on Facebook. I think you're watching this on Facebook here. Anyway, mashallah. So, I had something in particular I wanted to show everybody. Let's see if I can do that. Okay, I'm gonna try here. All right, there we go. Yes, International Day of Charity. That is what I wanted everybody to know about it. That is going to take place tomorrow, so all day long. And I don't know, because I didn't get any notice from Facebook about this, but usually whenever it's anything like that, Facebook matches all the donations, and it really that is an amazing thing. And it's only for the first so many minutes, because everybody jams up there and they try to donate and get other people to donate so that Facebook will match. But they have a limit of like, I think they do like $5 million or something, and it's gone right away. So And they say they're not going to start until in the mornings, but right at midnight it starts up and then boom. So it's gone by like 1 or 2 o'clock in the morning or something like that. For us, but I guess on the west coast, east coast, it'll be that's right, because 8 o'clock in the morning on the east coast, that's going to be like 5 o'clock in the morning for us. So that's why. Anyway, so that is the big thing that's going on now. This charity, international charity. But now here's something else, and you guys can check this out too. It says Bozo and Ronald McDonald both left with Willard Scott today. Willard Scott, I don't know if you know the funny weatherman, the guy who does the. He's really a character. Let me see if we can put that up there. Now you can see it. Yeah. Bozo and Ronald McDonald. Because he actually was Bozo the Clown, and then he was Ronald McDonald. He was the very first Ronald McDonald clown that they had. Then he went off into the weather. He started doing weather reports, and he was clowning around with that. And so we asked everybody to tune in so that we could all talk to Skippy the Clown. Are you familiar with Skippy the Clown?
Not me.
Sister?
No, I don't know Skippy.
I know Clarabelle the Clown.
Well, Clarabelle the Clown also passed away. You know, the one that did that.
Oh, that's a long time ago.
Yeah. So anyway, let me see if I can pull this back up. Oh boy. I didn't realize that I was using this. Ha! Yeah. Ha! 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 Richard, Assalamu alaikum. You said, yeah, you said you didn't, you weren't familiar with,
Skippy?
Yeah, Skippy the Clown.
No, I don't know Skippy.
You don't know?
No.
Well, let me see if I can arrange this. Yeah, here you go. Are you monitoring the program right now so that you can look at the screen?
Yep.
All right. So I just put Skippy the Clown right up there for you. Do you see him yet?
Hang on. Just, waiting. Come on, Skippy. Get through the airways, across the ways. Come on, Skippy. He's skipping.
No, you're looking at me. The Skippy the Clown is waving at you right now.
Okay, go ahead and explain more, I guess.
Do you see him waving?
I see, yes. So you're Skippy the Clown.
I was. In the early 1960s, that I had, my father had concessions with the circuses, carnivals, and so on, and they needed a clown. And so I volunteered, and I got really excited about it. I enjoyed doing that with the children, with the elderly, and I would put the clown outfit on and go up and down the different streets. We traveled all over the United States with the circuses, with the carnivals and stuff like that. And being a young person, you know, I really got into that. I enjoyed it so much. But then the dunya
So
got me, and I got out of it so I could make money.
So what was your stick? What was your clown thing? Were you a happy clown, a sad clown, or did you throw water on people, or big red nose, fall down all the time, wear big shoes? What was your MO?
Well, I guess you could say that I was a happy clown, but I never talked. I never wanted to talk.
Right.
I liked the idea of the clown that was with Howdy Doody. He never talked. He had a honk.
And a horn. Yep.
A horn. A bicycle horn. He would
Yep.
honk honk. That meant yes, and honk meant no.
Yep.
Anyway, I didn't want to talk, so I never did that. But I was a happy clown, and I would pull little flowers out and give it to the ladies, and I would do not really tricks, but I would do like a balloon and blow it up, and then take a magic marker and write the child's name on it and give it to them.
Oh, yeah.
Things
nice.
like that. Yeah, I had a lot of fun with that.
Good.
So, but I really liked Bozo the Clown, and there were circuses that had Bozo the Clown in them, but it wasn't Willard Scott. Willard Scott was the first. I think he was the first Bozo the Clown, or maybe the second. No, he wasn't first. He was the first Ronald McDonald Clown. But
I think Chicago was the first Bozo. It was either Chicago or Boston.
Yeah, I think you're right. So they had the guy who developed it was the voice of the cartoons for Bozo the Clown too. But Willard Scott was one of the characters for the Bozo, but he was the very first one for the Ronald McDonald. So I really thought we should give some kind of a tribute to the folks there that do that kind of work, because maybe the soft-heartedness of it could help them see the light of Islam. I hope. I know I did. My father did, and I used to get him to participate in some of the acts with me. He didn't want to ever put any clown face on, but he did help me with some of the things, and we had a wonderful time with that. And I think some of the people, I know one that's now in Las Vegas, and he used to be with the traveling circus, the big one, Ringling Brothers Circus, and I traveled along with them for some time, and I enjoyed that very much. I wasn't a performer in those days. I was already I was their imam for the ones that were Muslims, and I enjoyed that. I enjoyed that very much. But they all knew more about Islam than I did. I was just like the organizer, getting them to pray, make wudu, and do the things like that. But they were from Maghreb, Morocco. And so, and I put it up on the social media that they could come in and talk to us tonight, and we would have Skippy the Clown. So here I am. But I'm not going to do the makeup anymore. I still clown around, though.
Yep. Oh, that's interesting. Sister Kim, do you have a persona from your past?
I have many personas from my past. I used to work at a horror theme park.
Oh!
I was a costumed performer for several years. I've been everything from a mummy to a ghost to a person being chopped up by the Texas Chainsaw Massacre guy, to a narrator, for the Haunted Hayride, to a severed head in a box.
A severed head in a box. All right. Now that sounds like some of the stuff that we saw when I was with the sideshows, and they would do it the person was really there underneath the thing. And is that how they did that for you?
Yeah, I just sat underneath and I stuck my head up through a hole, and we put fake salad around my neck and a silver platter so it looked like my head was sitting in the middle of a bowl of salad.
Well, did you get to eat the salad afterward?
It was plastic. You wouldn't.
All right. Well, so the two things that I really wanted to focus on tonight was the idea of, I think, giving credit where credit is due for the folks that want to entertain, because many times I've met entertainers personally, and they really have a sincere desire for especially the ones that do comedy and that, and try to help other people get closer to a sense of reality. Most of the ones that I met were actually not Christians, but they believed in God. And I knew a lot of people in the circus industry that they believed in God for sure, but they didn't buy into the idea that Jesus died for their sins. And in retrospect, I can see now why my friend from Maghreb, he wanted to write a book for them. He wrote a small book, and we published it, and then he gave it out. When he was leaving the circus, he went to go to each of the tents or each of the RVs, the trailers, and give them, each one of them, a book that he said he wrote it himself, and is about his experience with them and on the show. It was really an interesting book too, because the way he presented it, he got to talk about Islam, he got to talk about Allah, but from their understanding, and I think he did a really good job on it. I think he did great. So anyway, and then the other thing I wanted to do is be sure that I mentioned all about the idea of, wait a minute, that's not the thing. We already talked about Bozo the Clown. Let's go back to, the International Day of Charity, because if anybody would like to, I think this is a good chance for them to share this. Now, I'm not telling everybody to donate for our cause or whatever. However, if you share this, whatever charity that they donate to, you'll get the reward for it, even if you didn't give anything at all. Or if you want to give something, yes, of course, donateislam.com, and that's our main website for donations, donateislam.com, and you'll see some of the projects that you guys have already fulfilled. You've 100%. We got a couple more going on right now, and we'd like to see you do that too. We've already raised millions for different masajid, and I'm really pleased with that. We've raised hundreds of thousands for the refugees, and of course, the fact that there are hundreds of thousands of refugees, it means it's only a drop in the bucket, but we did what we could, and we're still doing that. Every single month we're supporting the orphans, the refugees, homeless, the folks that are lost their jobs, things like this. So if you'd like to join us with that, you can. And we work with organizations. So if you have an organization and they wanted to get some help from us, and welcome. Contact at guideus.tv. Contact at guideus.tv. Don't write to me personally about it, because I don't have time for it. But the folks that check that out will get back to you and see what they can do as well. So National Day of Charity, that is tomorrow. And if anybody would like to share this page with them and let them see what's going on. Let me see what we had. Oh. I thought we had. There we go. That puts it right up there, doesn't it? Anyway, so that's what we got going on tonight. Do we have the phone number up on the screen? 1-800-971-4383?
Yes, we do.
Okay. Guys, if you would like to call in now, it's 1-800-971-4383. And you can... 4383.
No.
Yes, we do.
Whoa.
All of a sudden, I have you on the phone. All of a sudden, the sound came on. Say, where'd you come from? Go away. There we go. Now you're just monitoring.
Weird.
Yeah.
That's really interesting.
My phone has a mind of its own sometimes. It just does stuff.
Has anybody here visited Georgia?
Been to Georgia? I've been to Georgia.
You have? What was it like in that country?
Oh, Georgia.
Yeah, Georgia.
I'm
Hello.
talking about Atlanta.
Oh. All right. I got it. All right. Well,
No.
actually, I'm gonna see if we can put this up so that everybody can see it. Yeah, you can see it. Here we go. I gotta make it bigger so that it shows up here. This is it. This is Georgia. Dr. Mohammed Salah was in the east of Georgia, and he said you can see the confluence of two rivers here. Now, look real close. Maybe he wasn't there. Maybe he's just talking about it. But you see those two rivers, they are coming together. Notice how they don't really mix.
Yeah.
Let me show you another picture of it. See how that is? They don't mix. And that's the same way, if you didn't know this, maybe you'd like to know, but it's the same way that let me see if I can put some more up here so you can see it. Yeah, there's more.
Wow.
In the oceans, there are places where the two waters come together, like at the tip of Africa, and they're just as different colored as this. They're different temperatures, different salinity, and different life forms in there, different vegetation in it, and they just go along together. Now, it's not a perfect line, just like the one is here. Let me see if we can pull back on this. It's not a perfect line, but it's pretty straight. You know?
Yeah.
And that's where one of the things that we like to talk about with the Quran, because the Quran tells us that Allah is the one who made these two bodies of water that do not ever mix together. Yeah. Are you familiar with that part of the Quran?
No, I am not. I'm sure I've read it, but I am not super familiar with that.
Yeah, what you can do, I think we should demonstrate this for folks so that they can know how that. Let me see if we can pull it up. All right. We're going to see if we can show everybody. You can go to Search for Islam. That's our website. And now that's a little bit too big here. Let me see if I can bring it down a little bit so folks can see it better. Yeah, here we go. So you can go in here and I'm going on the wrong thing. Now, you wanted to go to the Quran, so type the word Quran, and then 2 C's meet. All right? And then click it, and that takes you to this particular website here. Okay, let me see if I can show it to you. Yeah, this particular website is called Science Islam, and this is about what Allah says. Modern science discovered that there are places where 2 seas meet and 2 rivers meet, and the barrier is between them. So this barrier divides the 2 seas so that each one has its own temperature, salinity, and density. I forgot to mention that. That's mentioned in a book called The Principles of Oceanography. Okay, for example, the Mediterranean Sea is warm, saline, and less dense compared to the Atlantic Ocean water. So when the Mediterranean seawater enters the Atlantic over the Gibraltar Sill, it moves several hundred kilometers into the Atlantic at a depth of about 1,000 meters with its own warm, saline, and less dense characteristics. The Mediterranean water stabilizes at that depth. And that's, again, quoting from the book, The Principles of Oceanography. Okay? So you can read this for yourself, and it's talking about the Mediterranean seawater enters into the Atlantic over that, let's see, depths of darker colors. So let me think. Okay, now, here is the quote from the Quran. It's in Surah Al-Rahman. It said, "He has let free the 2 seas meeting together." Let me highlight that and show everybody. That's where it is right there, okay? Allah is the one that set the 2 seas meeting together. There is a barrier between them, and they do not transgress. But when the Quran speaks about the divider being fresh and salt water, it mentions the existence of a forbidding partition within that barrier. Okay, so, and this is chapter 25, Surah Al-Furqan, verse number 53. And I'm going to highlight it again so you guys know where to look. Okay, it said, "He is the one who has let free the 2 bodies of flowing water, one sweet and palatable, the other salty and bitter." One sweet and palatable, the other salty and bitter. And he has made between them a barrier and a forbidding partition. So maybe somebody is going to ask why the Quran mentions this partition when speaking about the divider between fresh and salt water, but not mentioning it about when the 2 seas meet. Okay, and again, you can read about this in the Oceanography book. And let me see if I can highlight that for you. It says, okay, they use some words that I can't pronounce, all right? Prioclean zone with marked density, discontinuity, separating the 2 layers. Anyway, the partition of the zone or separation has a different salinity from the fresh water and from the salt water, okay? And that's in the Oceanography book called The Introductory Oceanography. That's a different book about oceanography. So, yeah, that I think that's very interesting. What do you think, Sister Kim?
I studied about this extensively when I was in college for environmental technology. And one of the most beautiful places that I've seen photos of it happening is in the cenotes in Mexico. Do you know what a cenote is?
How do you spell it?
Cinote, I think.
CEN?
CIN. Might be CEN, I don't know.
There it was CIN. I'm looking for it. Cintas? No, that's not it. Spell it again, sister.
CINOTE.
Does it have a S at the end of it?
There's more than one, so it might.
Oh, is it in Cancun or Yucatan?
They're all over the place in Mexico.
Okay. The sacred cenote is a water-filled sinkhole in limestone. Is that it?
Yes. And in areas where the salt water comes in, now you can dive in the cenote. And in areas where the salt water comes in, the water is not murky, but you can see the water because of the particles. And the floats on top of the salt water, and it looks like you're going to break out of the salt water and go into fresh air. But the water is so clear in the fresh water that you can swim between them and they don't mix. The salt water just floats right on top of the fresh water, floats on top of the salt water, and it's really beautiful.
CENOTE, Passage to the Maya Underworld.
We are now exploring her skeleton, dated to 13,000 years, caves and underground rivers.
No, cenote we call the house of.
Yeah, it's showing a cave under here with bats in it. Yeah, I think that's very interesting, sister. Very interesting. Oh, here's a shot. There you can see. Let me see, where are we with that? There it is. You could see that, I'll back it up a little bit. You can see some of that. I don't know that it's exactly what you're talking about, though. Okay, anyway, so alhamdulillah for everything. We see a lot of things. Today you can go on the internet and find out about anything you want. You can learn so many different things, you know.
We should take a break.
Oh, yeah, you're right. Let's do that right now. Richard, tell everybody what to do.
Well, as always, stay tuned, stay guided. We'll be right back with guidance.
24 pallets of books and tapes and videos for Islam. Alhamdulillah Rabbil Alameen. We are back. You were watching Guidance TV. We're just kind of clowning around tonight. Sorry for that pun.
We're just skipping through the ionosphere.
Yeah, there you go. There you go.
Yep.
If I let's see if it's not as this is not as easy as it looks. Yeah. Okay. Richard, we've got you on now. And the problem is that you and I are not really lined up, and I have to use this particular one because we've got problems with the ever since we did our live program this morning. I've had problems with the software on this. So and Indonesia was a sound problem, And now it is a visual problem. Let me see what I can do to replace it. There, okay. So if you can come up, there, you're doing it.
Yeah.
Yeah, if you can come up a little bit more so that we can balance this thing out, then otherwise, if I get it small enough for me to fit in the screen, then you're out of the picture. So I don't want to do that to you. MashaAllah. Let's try that. Okay. Oh, that's much better. Now we can see at least the top half of you. MashaAllah.
That's probably good.
Yeah. Well, alhamdulillah for everything.
Yeah.
It is what it is.
But this whole subject is so amazing. The science 1,400 years ago being so clearly, revealed through the Quran, that's mind-boggling to me as I study and read some of this, and it's just over and over again. Here's this whole thing of who set immovable mountains and created a barrier between the fresh and the salt water. It's just amazing.
That's one of the things that convinced me that Islam was the true path, was the science in the Quran.
Yes.
That was indisputable science that we, sometimes didn't, quote, discover for hundreds of years, yet it had said it in the Quran for 1,400 years.
Right.
And, I was very skeptical at first of any holy books. And when I read that, I'm like, you can't deny that. We've proven that. And, that was a huge step toward convincing me of the validity of Islam.
Well, we have a website. It's called ScienceIslam.com. Have you ever visited that particular website, sister?
Oh yes, I've visited it several times.
Okay. Well, and that website, I'm trying to put it up right now so people can see. Here is a sample of it. Here's a sample of it, of Science Islam. ScienceIslam.com. Yeah, what do you think, sister? Did you see it? Or are you still watching it?
I'm still watching it. That's really cool.
Yeah, that's actually a promotion for our channel for ScienceIslam.com. So, yeah. Anyway, so there were some people.
Now there's one thing that is mentioned in the Quran, and I don't think they have any scientific evidence for it, but perhaps you'd know if they do. The miracle of the splitting of the moon. Has there ever been any proof that the moon was actually split?
Yeah, at the time of the Prophet ﷺ. Let me try to see if I can get myself back on the screen. Okay, where would that be? No, that's not it. Well, I'm lost now. I can't even get myself back on the screen. I don't know where it is. Ah, here it is. Yeah. I'm not used to having to go through all this rigmarole that just, yeah. Here we go. All right. Now, at the time of the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam, there was this story about splitting the moon. And if I can find out how I can put this up so everybody can see it, I can do that again. Let's see. The moon split. Let me see what we got here. Yeah.
Want the sign that we want, not the sign that you are bringing to us. Split the moon. Let's see. So Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam by.
Let me start from the beginning. Here it is.
Want the sign that we want, not the sign that you are bringing to us. Split the moon. Let's see. So Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam by the power of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala just pointed at it with his index finger, and it split in two pieces. Allah makes mention of it here. وَانشَقَّ الْقَمَرُ. Definitely the moon also split. Allahu Akbar. They still didn't believe the sign. That is why Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says there are some people no matter what is brought to them, even if the angels had to come and stand in front of them and say, we are angels of Allah, please believe in the message, they will still say, no ways, we are not interested, bring something bigger than you. Allah says, are they waiting for Allah to come and address them? Allahu Akbar. May Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala protect us. This is why Allah says, وَإِن يَرَوْا آيَةً يُعْرِضُوا وَيَقُولُوا سِحْرٌ مُسْتَمِرٌ. Whenever they see one of these signs of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, they turn away and they say, that man is a magician. It is just an illusion of the eye. Allahu Akbar. That crack is still supposed to be there on the moon.
Well, now let's take another picture here and let's see what this looks like. I have to go through the video a little bit so that you can see it, but here it is. By the way, he goes by Usted, and that is what my name used to be. Well, hundreds of years ago, Estes was Usted. Jibril came, and the celestial bodies are in your control. Okay, so the Prophet ﷺ, with his fingers, he pointed up, and it cracked. You can see it. Did you see that right there on the picture? Now, it was seen in India, and one of the righteous people traveled in the direction till he reached Mecca from India, and that was many months after. And so the people took him aside and wanted to ask him, hey, on a certain night, did you see anything strange? And he said, yeah, on that particular night, we saw the moon split and just go apart, and then it came back together, but nobody believes us, So these same people that saw it with their own eyes are asking somebody else about it, and he confirms that they also saw it, and still they don't want to believe. That is really, really serious if you think about it. This is so amazing that anybody could see something like this, and then especially if you ordered it. You said, okay, give me this and then maybe I'll believe. All right, now you see it. Nah, I don't want to believe anyway. So this is called the Miracles of Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam. It was put up last November, so it's about 10 months ago. We can take a look at this.
That if the caravan moves to the right, the cloud moves to the right. And if the caravan moves to the left, the cloud moves to the left. And when the caravan stops, the cloud stops. So Bahira sits up. Like, what is this?
Okay, now what that's talking about is the time when the Prophet ﷺ went out on a caravan when he was still young and not married yet to Khadija. He was working for her. And then when they said that it was strange because the cloud followed wherever they went to be sure that it saved the Prophet ﷺ from getting burned up, because it was really, really hot. And I don't know if you know how the deserts are, but it got really, really hot. So, and that's what this is talking about here. Now, that crack that you're looking at there, I think that's really augmented on that. But I do believe that there is something that was observed by the astronauts when they were up there on the moon. Because I remember them talking about something way back, but I can't find it anymore. But I think they did talk about something like that. Anyway, so this is all interesting. But I think one of the bigger things for me, is when some people told their prophet, Prophet Salih, they told him, we're not going to believe unless you can do something. Prove you're a prophet. And then he asked them, what do you want? And they described, we want this boulder, okay? We want a boulder to break open like an egg and have a pregnant camel in it. Now, what's the chance of anybody, I mean, seriously. And exactly that's what Allah made happen. A boulder split, and there was a pregnant camel. Now, because whenever Allah gives a sign like that, He also gives a test with the people. In other words, I'm doing something here, so you respect me now. So whenever the children of Israel were allowed out of Egypt, that was a miracle way, because they escaped, but then they got to the river, not the river, but they got to the Red Sea, and they couldn't go any further, and they knew that the Pharaoh with his army was in hot pursuit. So what could they do? And then Allah is telling Moses, to take your stick and strike the water. Now, that's not going to do much, but when he did that, that opened up the way for them to go right on through. And when they got to the other side, Allah closed it up on Pharaoh. And today we have the proof, we have that solid proof, evidence, because they have found the body of Pharaoh, and that's what brought Maurice Bucaille. Dr. Maurice Bucaille came to Islam based on that. He was a French scientist and author and so on, but he was called into Egypt to do some of the forensic stuff that they wanted to do on the mummy that they found. Well, when he started studying it, he's like, wait a minute, this is not typical, because the body was not preserved by the stuff that they usually did it by. It was preserved by salt water. And so that being the case, he started thinking, well, maybe this is the Moses of, in the Bible. And when he said that to them, they were like, oh yeah, that makes sense. He's like, what do you mean that makes sense? They said, well, we know all about Moses. And then start telling him about Islam and the Quran. And he said, okay. So he wanted a Quran, and then he wanted to learn the Arabic so that he could know what the Quran says. That's an amazing person. And Rahim Allah, he passed away now, but he really did amazing things. Some of our brothers were with him, and they talked about him, and on a personal level, it was really a great guy. And we've seen some of the videos that he made as well. And I think we have some comments on our ScienceIslam.com website. So if anybody would like to see it, it's called ScienceIslam.com. Let me see if I can put that back up for you. Science. This is one of the words. Science is the one that breaks the rule about I before E, except after C, because it's still I before E. Let's see what we got now. I'll go back to this and yeah, here it is. I got to stretch it out again so you'll be able to see it better. And okay, this is Science Islam. This is something that was a promo that we did for Science Islam so that you guys could see. There you go. So, you know that Islam is talking about, the Quran is talking about different things that you can't imagine how many different scientific evidences came about at the time of the Prophet ﷺ. So whenever we're talking about this, it's not really a plaything. This is, yeah. Forgot that there had an ending to it. Huh? Anyway, so some of the miracles of the Quran that are outside of the literary side of it, and we're talking about the language is a miracle, the organization of the verses and ayahs and so on. Like I was talking about this morning for the Indonesian audience, and I was saying that we have to be a balanced nation because Allah tells us that in the Quran, Ummatan Wasatan. And where do you think this is in the Quran? Sister, do you have any idea where that is, or have you heard me talk about it?
No, I don't.
Okay. Well, let's see.
About halfway in the middle.
Huh?
Right smack in the middle.
Of what?
The Quran.
Well, actually it is in the middle of something.
Oh, okay.
All right? It is in the middle of something. Because Surah Baqarah has 286 verses in it. 286. And keep in mind, nobody used to count the numbers of the verses or the numbers of the surahs. They didn't do that. The Prophet ﷺ knew where, he didn't know where one begins and one ends until the angel brought him the information and what the signal was when it starts with another Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim, and then, okay, so that's another surah. And then it keeps on going until you hear the next Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim. So that is the evidence for what we're talking about. And I think that, I should mention, 286 verses, cut that number in half, the number is 146, and that's exactly where it says Ummatan Wasatan, a balanced nation in the middle, right in the middle. And sister, let everybody know what they need to do because we got to go off the air now.
Yep, real simple, folks. All you got to do is stay tuned and stay guided with Guidus
TV. Yes. Yusuf Estes. And I'm looking for something. Actually, I'm looking for someone. Is that someone you? I want Dawah Partners. And you can be my Dawah partner right now. It's real easy. Just go to dawahpartners.com, sign up, and join me. There are 3 things that I would like for you to be able to do. Any one of them or all of them. Beautiful. Number 1, you will make dua. So you can be our Dawah partner, even if you don't go to the website, but I hope you do. Number 2, share. Share this message and let other people know about becoming Dawah partners. And number 3, help us financially. Donate on a monthly basis, even if it's small. Allah loves the thing that you do regularly, even if it's small, more than the thing that you do that's really big, but you only do it once. Join me as a Dawah partner. Do it now. Click, 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 click.